It was a crisp December afternoon. The leaves were non-existent, and the wind was frosty. The kind of wind that bit at your dripping nose. As I walked down the driveway from the bus, I felt the joy as I saw the Christmas tree lit up through the window. However, all that preemptive Christmas joy that most children experience was washed away as I went inside and saw my father sitting seriously in his recliner awaiting our arrival. Why was he already home? We sat down waiting anxiously to hear what he had to say. No after-school snacks or sodas like we usually had. He spoke in a low, monotone voice and stated in a vague manner that Mom was sick. We didn't necessarily know what he meant by sick, but we already knew that she had not been herself for quite some time. Constantly screaming in pain from her bathroom, constant trips to the doctor. Something was wrong. Me, my little brother, and little sister all just stared vacantly at each other in the living room. He never went to specifics. He said he wanted to wait so we could hear it from Mom. Hindsight being 20/20, inevitable news does not necessarily matter where it comes from, as long as it is truthful. We piled into our silver Ford minivan, turned on the heat, and drove to Northside Hospital. As my dad distracted my brother and sister in the back seat with music and road games, I stared blankly out the window, wondering all the possibilities of what's happened to my mom. As we neared closer and closer to the hospital, my anxiety rose, and I became fearful of the news to come. At the time, my brother and sister were too young to understand the implications of her being sick and what that had on our family. But I was old enough to. I was too young to accept the fact that my mom had cancer and would fight it for the next 7 years. But I had to grow up a lot that day. It was time to step up to the plate. I watched Gavin and Casey in front of me. They looked so unworried, playful, and full of youth. As we went through the hospital, a gray cloud washed over my emotions as the inevitable news was soon to come. We sat in the waiting room for what seemed like forever. Family members, close friends, and even faraway relatives I hadn't seen in a long time were in that room with me. Yet I felt so alone. My mom walked in with an IV in hand and a hospital gown on. She slowly treaded over to her empty seat that we had prepared for her. She said it was good to see everyone, but she hated that it was under those circumstances. It was soon that after she greeted everyone that she looked to her children and family in the eyes and told them that she had cancer. To quote exactly, she said, "They found a little bit of cancer in me." Oh, Mom. So optimistic and full of fire, she was already downplaying the terrible news she had delivered. I broke into the hardest cry I think I ever had, disregarding my dad's instructions of staying strong for my brother and sister, who seemed confused as to what the situation really meant. That was the day my life changed forever. That was the day my mom was diagnosed with stage C3 ovarian cancer.